So sorry, apologies for that. I think I had a bit of an issue with the network. So, Madam Kefi, let's not drag this matter for too long. But you have to make sure that your small letter is really a small letter, especially when it is starting a word, so that you don't get this thing. Now, it is because we are here now. We can begin to drag it back and forth, but over there, once they are in dilemma or they can't really tell that it is this, they will just speak anyone they like, and that's it. And from some of the things I've heard, I think you listening and reading according to what I've heard is being marked by the computer. So if the computer feels you have written capital letter, it's gone. That one is gone. It counts against you. I hope you understand. So really make sure you're.
No problem. It's computer based.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. I'll be free from writing problems.
So, and of course, and even in the first place, your writing is not too bad. Just that. But you've gone for computer-based, which is good. So now let's see. Here, typically when students are doing listening, I always tell them that question 1 to 10 and 31 to 40 seem to be the simplest aspects, because that is where you seem to have, for listening, that's where you seem to have continuously having to supply your answers. And these answers are typically good, typically got by you using your clues very well. If your clues are used very well, then you get these answers very cheaply. All right. So then, before you now talk about maybe using between 11 and 30 maps, what is this thing called now? Multiple choice question, matching, multiple choice question matching and all that, those ones. But in between 1 to 10 and 11, 31 to 40, you basically sometimes have sentence completion, a short answer question, notes. Note summary usually is 31 to 40, so which is almost like sentence completion, so it comes in easy. So one should be very careful as to what how you okay, I was saying that you should try as much as possible to get all 10 from 1 to 10 and 10 from 31 to 40. Try as much as possible. Those are, as far as I'm concerned, those are the cheapest areas. Then the sentence, multiple choice questions, and the rest of them matching, and the rest of them between 11 and 20 and 30, 29 or 30. Then you should try as much as possible to work on those areas too, and then you'll be fine. So I'm not. My students should make sure that they don't fail. What's it called now? 31. Anything 1 to 10, 31 to 32. So let's see whether we can look at how. So which one particular one could you say was a bit of an issue for you in this particular one?
I don't know if it's this one, but there's this one that you have to, there will be plenty options. You have to select, like, okay, let me give an instance. They'll put 4 different names, and you have to match it to what the person said.
Okay, that's
just one scenario. There are some that are much more difficult than that. It's a list of names, maybe 21, 22, 23, 24. They'll say this person is in charge of this person is in charge of that. But sometimes they don't use names, they use some other things.
Okay.
So it's like matching, but it's in listening.
Yes, it's I think matching is in listening too.
It's matching.
Yeah. So let's see whether it's this one. I hope you will not it's not as if we'll do only your own throughout the day now. All right, so let's see.
But you can pick somebody's own now.
Let's
still the same.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
The same pattern.
Okay, you're reading. Okay, which area do you think you have a bit of issue in reading? Let's
matching again.
In reading too, Abby.
Yes, matching,
Okay.
not heading, no, matching.
Okay.
The other one that is not heading.
Okay, the other one that is not heading. What about, are you talking about locating information question?
Yes.
Locating information question.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's quickly look at Mr. Ezekiel's work, because both of you are the ones that have submitted so much. Listen, of course, I have one other person who submitted her own, I think, but she's not in class, so it's not as if I would want her to be here while we look at her work. Okay, okay. Okay, I think I owe somebody an apology and a one-on-one. So, Ms. Nafisat, we need to do a one-on-one. So sorry that I've not responded to your chat since Sunday. It probably did not come in as at the time I was expecting it to come in. So came in at the time when I became very busy. So let's go. You live in a room in college where you share with other students. However, there are many problems with this arrangement, and you find it very difficult to work. You didn't bring in, sir. You didn't bring in the highlighted points, the points that so I don't know what I'm marking you against. So can you quickly help us with that if you can? Maybe you should help us with that. Send it to the what's the corner? Send it to the chat so that so that we can take up another one. We'll come back to that as soon as possible. So okay, the growth of online stores will one day lead to all shops in towns and cities closing down. So discuss. Is this just discuss, or discuss both views, or discuss the problem and solution to this? Is it just discuss? Okay. Okay. All right. There is a surge in online shopping. So here, discuss in a subtle way is okay. Depending on which way you feel, okay, it could be that it is correct. Okay, discuss means that you should discuss both paraphernalias, whether it is a positive or negative, whether it is good or it is bad. Discussion does not have a particular intonation to it. It is neither negative or positive. So I think the person, depending on the student, the person might have to do a lot of elaboration and explaining here. So let's see. There is because when you are discussing, you are not just, it's not going to be one-sided. It's not going to be just good all through. No, it's not going to be all bad all through. It's going to be both sides. Okay, so I think we need to understand that there's a surge in online shopping these days, in contrast to what was obtainable in the past, due to benefits that are accruable to this norm. There's a surge in online shopping these days, in contrast to what is obtainable in the past, due to the benefits that are accruable to this norm. Lots of people have resorted to combing for what they need at online. It should be on online at online store. This I say will elaborate the reasons behind the shift by the majority. So now let's see. First of all, your idea. This is a surge in online shopping these days, in contrast to what was obtainable in the past, due to the benefits that are accruable to this number. That sentence seemed to be ambiguous. It seemed to be a bit ambiguous. Ambiguity in the sense that if you say obtainable in the past due to the benefits that are accruable to this norm, you are not bringing in physical shops in town. If you say obtainable in the past compared to what is obtainable in the past, contrast to what is obtainable in the past. There's no, what could be obtainable in the past is that there are no online stores. Okay, there are no online stores, which is a possibility. And you are thinking that you are saying that compared to shops in town, you did not bring it in, you did not state it there. So you are leaving us at a wild guess as to how, what your other parts, your prompt, what your other part of prompt is saying. All right, you're leaving us at a wild guess as to what your prompt is saying, which is not too good. Your prompt should be able to, express everything needed to be expressed in your from your prompt. Your prompt paraphrase rather should express everything that needs to be expressed from your prompt. You shouldn't take out some words and then expect that we understand. I think from your prompt, I should be able to get a total gist of what the background to your essay is, or better still, from your introduction, your prompt and the subject of the essay your prompt should give us what your prompt paraphrase should give us what your prompt is, and your thesis statement should give us what your question looks like. So if there are areas that are not very clear, it means your prompt or your essay is starting off on a very bad note. So there is a search, and there's another thing. There's a search in online shopping. There's two different things. Fine, we do online shopping in online shops, but here it is not online shopping, it is online shops. Growth of online shops here is not the same thing as online shopping. There are two lines of difference. I mean, there's a thin line of difference. Now, what other words do we use for online? We use remote, we use what's it called, virtual. So these words should have just come in to say virtual shops rather than online shopping. Online shopping is a phenomenon that works with online shops, but online shopping is not the same thing as online shops. So there is a surge in virtual shops these days, which seem to have led, or which has brought about the close down of physical stores in towns, in certain quarters, in certain quarters in the human world, so to speak. So you should try as much as possible to replicate almost the same thing as your prompt. Not replicating it would mean that you have changed the trajectory of your essay, just like you have done in this case. Online shopping has been swapped for online shops. They are not the same thing. Not bringing in shops in towns and cities has also changed the whole thing to something else. So benefits that are attributable to this number. So I don't know that, I'm not sure that's what is needed there, because it's not in the prompt. So lots of people have resorted to combine for what they need at online stores. And I'm not sure that too is really needed. It should just have been the simple prompt. If your prompt is simple, then your paraphrase too should be simple. Then you go straight to this. So this essay will elaborate the reasons behind the shift by the majority. So, which is good. So please pay attention to what is needed and what is not needed. And please stay away from what is not needed and stick to what is needed. Stick to what you can see. So to begin with, one of the acclaimed reasons why people resort to shopping online is convenience. Shoppers log on to the internet and okay, I think I was going to correct something now. There's a search in online shopping. Okay, so let's continue. To begin with, one of the acclaimed reasons why people resort to shopping online is convenience. Shoppers log on to the internet and shop for what they need, ranging from food items, cosmetics, electronics, watches. You can't start sentences with ranging and not have to. It ranges from this to this. So it's not the kind of sentence that is etc would feature prominently or very well in. And do not use, please, in your essay, stay away from etc. It's better, and so on. And so on. etc is an abbreviation. And if you use an abbreviation, are you telling them to go and fill it up themselves? No. You are saying and so on. And so on is more explicit than saying etc. So to begin with, one of the acclaimed reasons why people resort to shopping online is convenience. Shoppers log on to the internet and search for what they need, ranging from food items, cosmetics, electronics, to watches. Maybe it should be ranging from food items to watches. Let's just remove all of those things in between. Mr. Ezekiel, are we together? I hope you are listening.
Yes, we're together. We're together.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So let
I'm
me
trying to also keep it good to where I picked up the question to see whether I've completed it. And we're together.
Okay, sir. From food items to cosmetics, those, then just to watches. If you say ranging from something to something, you shouldn't list again. Ranging from food items to watches and so on. And I think this word is from the comfort, not at the comfort, from the comfort of their homes and offices. Additionally, the stress of moving from one physical shop to the other, ranking for needed materials are temporarily completely avoided. Okay, let's say this. Let's use this. Shoppers log on to the internet and search for what they need, ranging from food items to watches and so on, from the control of their homes and offices as. Let's just put as the stress of moving from one physical shop to the other, ransacking for needed material, ransacking, the word ransacking, ransack. You ransack like ransack or rummage, like you are scattering everywhere, so to speak. You scattering everywhere, you are just, so I don't think scattering everywhere in search of one thing. When you are looking for your phone and you don't know where it is and the whole room is upside down because you are searching for your phone. That is what it means to ransack. I'm not sure this idea of ransacking applies here. Moving from one physical shops to the other. Okay. Maybe we just use search. We still use searching for. That's the best we can come up with, but it's quite more apt.
That's the intention anyway. Search.
Sir?
That's the intended what I wanted to type. Search.
Yes. So searching for needed materials are completely avoided. Then, having written quite enough, you have made it a very long sentence. Then it is correct. You should just start a new sentence. It is correct to say that surfing has replaced gallivanting or moving up and down. Please stay away from giving them options, word options. Just use moving up and down. I'm not sure up and down is a standard English word. If you're moving around, moving around from one shop, maybe from one. If you can, you have to move around from one shop to another. To pick items that one may actually need. Okay, hold on. Now, if you can't use one here, you can't use one here because okay, it says shoppers, which is third person plural, and if you can't use one here because it's a single third person singular. I don't know whether you're getting the idea. The subject of this whole discussion is shoppers plural, and it's third person plural. So seeking for items they actually need would be the correct thing. Right?
On the last line of that paragraph, I lost that at some point. This is the connection.
Sir?
Do you mean the here we have one and the last line of that paragraph because I missed that at some point. This is connection.
Okay. So so the less from this sentence, is it correct? It is correct to say, is it this one you're talking about? Should I recap or repeat what I said here?
Point.
Are you saying I should start from here?
No, from the next line, the last line in that paragraph.
From this.
You said that it's not correct to use one.
Okay, good. Now, okay, so this was shoppers. The subject of all of these things you are saying here, the subject is shoppers, plural. Shoppers is third person, plural. Now, let me quickly just say here, your grammar must go in, at least in the second simple present, must go with this: I, you, and he / she / it. These ones, all these three are singular thing. So this one also talks about when you are mentioning somebody's name. Let's say Mr. John. Is Mr. John in class today? Okay. Mr. John is not in class today. So let's see. Let's please go on. Okay, Mr. John. So this is singular pronoun, but first person singular pronoun, second person singular pronoun, third person singular pronoun. So on the other hand, side, you have we, first person singular plural pronoun, you, yes, you plural, and third person singular, third person plural pronoun. So here you can, for shoppers you can replace it with they. They log on. So that is what we're having here. They log on to the internet and search for what they need, ranging from food items to watches and so on, from the comfort of their homes and offices at the stress. And so if the subject of this particular whole what's it called explanation is shoppers, you can't use one here. That's why we changed this word to they, because it has to be pluralized. It should be pluralized because I hope you understand me, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So so that's why we realize. Furthermore, there is an advantage. There is disadvantage of availability of varieties of in online shopping. For instance, intended buyer. Okay, now what this is may not be, what your essay may not have done, that's this particular paragraph may not have done, is that it has not contrasted. Okay, you need to always pay attention to your prompt. Growth of online stores will one day lead to shops, lead to all shops in towns and cities closing down. Will one day lead to this thing. So you have not said this is behind this shift. We'll elaborate the reasons behind this shift. We'll elaborate the reasons behind this shift. Okay, I think I just saw it in the nearest future because they said will one day lead to. So we are talking about futuristic now. Okay, so if we are talking about futuristic, you should also include it, make sure that it reflects that. Now, here it is saying that one of the actual reasons why people resort here, I've just also seen that it's supposed to be will resort, because this one is futuristic, will one day lead to, will resort to shopping online is convenient. Shoppers log on to the internet and shop for what they need, ranging from food items to watches, and so is like that, and so on and so forth. So here, completely okay, good, okay. The search for is completely avoided from one physical shop to the other is completely avoided, okay, which is good. All right, so let's go on. That has satisfied my curiosity. So furthermore, there's the advantage of availability of varieties in online stores. For instance, at intending buyers, maybe we should say there is this advantage. There will be, okay, there will be. I want to try as much as possible to not to edit the whole thing. There will be disadvantage of availabilities of varieties, varieties or ability of varieties, availability of varieties of goods. Just varieties of goods in online shop, in online shopping, online shop. Let's just take online off and say virtual and make it shop. Those were already said that it should not be shopping, it should just be shop. For instance, intending buyers looking for musical keyboard specification, okay, of Yamaha PSR will get different specification of Yamaha products. Like you could just say, you can't say let's say, because this is not speaking. It's like PSR 2500 where intending buyer. Okay, now intending buyer, please let's try to stay away from he or she. I want to ask you a typical question. Anybody who has seen it should please let me know. Where have you read an international journal or an international book, a book written by international author or foreign authors, and you see them using he or she? If you have any, if you have had that experience, please let me know. Typically, the masculine gender still stands for both masculine and gender and masculine and feminine, even till tomorrow. Apologies to the feminists in our midst and who would want to who are saying female emancipation. I'm a feminist. I'm not a feminist, but I think I am all for women emancipation and women decent, but until the whites tell us how to handle their language as it comes to representing in some cases representing gender, we don't have a choice but to use masculine gender for both. So you wouldn't read an international journal and you have he or she like we do in Nigeria. So using he or she in your essay is typical of in Nigerian English, which is not yet acceptable. We know that some words are beginning to percolate into the English dictionary, like fufu, suya, the rest of them like that, but they've not, this particular he or she is not been accepted. It's not been accepted into the body of English language. So where he would gladly and comfortably choose from. That's why sometimes to stay away from the he or she who labalo, make your writing in plural. Start your writing in plural. So you could say, for instance, intending buyers looking for musical keyboard specification of Yamaha will get different specification of Yamaha products. Why not say, instead of Yamaha PSR, of that brand, so that we don't have of that brand, of that brand. That brand, like PSR, this, that, where they would gladly just go for plural, and it's a lot more easier that way. A lot more easier when you go for plural. So okay, where they would gladly and commonly choose from, and your comma, and this is extremely interesting. One might not have this privilege in physical shopping, let's say, one might not have this privilege in shops on the streets, and in shops, or let's say in stores, in town. There's a privilege, this privilege in stores. Okay, let's say at stores in town, which can leave someone frustrated. You know, if we are going with plural, I mean pluralization, then which can leave people frustrated and left with no option than to buy what's available at times. Also, the seller of online materials arranges for delivery processes in which one do not have to worry on how to get whatever one has procured. However, delivery cost might be built into the cost of the item, but is still not to be compared to the stress to be encountered in conventional shopping. Now, before I end this one, please, you need to pay attention to the time reference. The fact that you did not interpret the time reference very well made the whole of your essay awkward, sir. He said the growth of online stores will one day, which means that there is currently a growth of online store, but this growth of online store will soon, in the nearest future, someday lead or bring about the closing down of shops in towns and cities. So all of this, all your essay particularly was just set or use the present time reference, and there wasn't so much future time references in them, which makes it a bit lacking in what's it called now, in task achievement. Your task achievement requires that you you relate what is happening now to a possible outcome in the future, but you did not do that. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, I believe he heard what I'm saying. So these time references are quite very, very important for you to pay attention to when you are doing your work. It is very, very important. Without that, you will not have been able to achieve any most of the the task achieved task that as you are expected to. So in conclusion, in the nearest future, okay, now it's coming here, but you know, conclusion is concluding on what you have written. If you have not written it, why? Yes, you should conclude on what you have written. Let me just put it that way. You should conclude on what you have written. If in the near future there has not been any indicator of what might likely happen in the nearest future, then concluding on it, on them or with it, may seem a bit awkward also. So please and please, it's always better and always accurate that you look into your question type, your question elements, know what it is expecting from you before you begin to write. I think I mentioned earlier that once you want to write an essay, you should be able to understand the question type and its requirements. The requirements of this, a major one for that matter, is that it shows the growth of online stores will bring about a possible outcome where people will have to close down their physical shops, and because online stores will have taken over. So that time reference is very, very important. And I want you to pay attention to that next time. So, so having said that, you need to also work on your Quincy device, or let me just say vital signs. Vital signs still largely is missing here, apart from to begin with. Furthermore, and compared, I think you have in the first paragraph, it is just having us a place moving around. So apart from those initial, more so, yes, to begin with, furthermore, more so are the prominent vital signs or Quincy devices that you have here. And it's quite monotonous, quite bland. Don't make it interesting. You need to read more on vital signs. Read more on vital signs and work on this to achieve your a better output, so that we would have a good outing at the exams. Okay, so having said that, let's move on to the work of somebody else. So sorry, the network took you off, sir. So
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, I hope you heard you've taken some of the things we wrote down. The future reference in your essay is very, very important. I want you to look into that. The future reference in your essay is very, very important. If you did not put that into consideration, then it meant that you did not achieve your a task, and you might not be listening. So here you concluded on it, but you should only conclude on what you developed in the body of the essay or what you wrote in the body of the essay. So if you did not write